Ajax Amsterdam wants Erik Ten Hag back. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. It's a great morning where we come here to update you on Manchester United. Have you subscribed? If you haven't, please do it. Like this video and share it. Let's move on. Listen, it's a big breaking update concerning Manchester United as the pressure continues to mount on our boss Erik Ten Hag. The latest now is that Ajax Amsterdam, his former employers where he saw or enjoyed the most success in his career as a manager, are saying, bring him back to us. They are willing to take him back the moment he's sacked by Manchester United, if that were to happen. Remember, INEOS are in a period where they are weighing their options, and it is said now that INEOS are contemplating making their final decision pronounced after the FA Cup, and it is likely that the result from the FA Cup could have an impact on what they decide, what they pronounce. Now, that's the situation where Manchester United is now. What has come out is that his former employers, his last immediate employers before he joined Manchester United Ajax, the team with which he was, of course, working in 2022, where we got him from, are saying that should he be not wanted in surplus to requirements at Manchester United, they are willing to take him on. Remember, Ajax themselves have struggled since Erik Ten Hag left. As we speak now, they are lying fifth in the Dutch Eredivisie. They have sacked, I think, two different managers. So they have three managers now, and Schmidt is the now guy in charge now. The third manager they've had this season alone, but they are still lying fifth. So they are saying, yeah, come next season, Erik Ten Hag could be the man to lead them back to, of course, playing the exciting football they played that attracted Manchester United to him, the exciting football that got them almost competing for the Champions League title under Erik Ten Hag. So they are saying we can offer an exit route to our former boss. He's a legend in every right. He won things, as you can see, him there, of course, with the many shields that he won with the Dutch side. Now, Erik Ten Hag's situation. This is to show you how real the situation is with Erik Ten Hag, because people have been saying, well, he has got to be backed. INEOS can't sack him. Guys, there is a debate, there is a conversation, and it's real. The talks are going on. INEOS are also weighing their options currently, whereas Erik Ten Hag is making demands with the hope that he will stay. There is no guarantee. I honestly can't say that I will sit here and celebrate if Erik Ten Hag was sacked, to be honest. And every day that passes, as it feels more likely that he might be sacked, it feels a little different and weird. I don't know whether you get the same feeling as well, but every day that as we edge closer to a decision, it feels strange that I'm imagining how would I feel if this man was sacked? Because in all honesty, besides all the issues he has got aside, his weaknesses aside, he has got certain positive. Also, in all fairness, you don't sack a manager who came in the Premier League and in the first season led you to third, won a title that had eluded you for years. Second season gets all these injuries with all these players who do not have quality at all. Now we have a squad that we can't even put up for sale, that we can't price. But the players we just want to get rid of, and you still blame the manager. Give him time a bit. I think that's the fair thing to do. But with Manchester United, it's very difficult to justify why a manager is not performing, and it's that's why for a long time we've been sacking managers left, right, and center, because it's very difficult. Whatever is issues that are there, the fans don't care. They care about results, and if you're not getting them, if Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool are getting them, the fans will demand for results. That's the difficult bit about managing Manchester United. So the poor guy is facing it in his second season. That honestly, not yes, we failed to. Of course, the failure to beat Sheffield Burnley did confirm that Manchester United will not play in the Champions League next season. We are sixth as we speak now. Most likely, we'll be competing in the Europa League, and that again depends mostly. I think the guarantee will be if we win the FA Cup on the 25th of May. But if we don't, we then have to battle it out with Newcastle and the likes for a place in the in the Europa League. So Europe is still shaky for Manchester United, because even the odds of United winning the FA Cup, whereas that's my prediction that United will win, the odds really are slim. They don't favor United at all. So you see that the whole season has been a mess. But guys, let's not be blind to the reality that there are issues that have been eating this club up, that he inherited, that he fought through, and then add on the so many injuries to his would be senior players. You don't expect things to stay the way they were. But that's where we are now. It's a tricky situation that Ten Hag has got now to endure this. Now, remember already, him and the players are already taking pay cuts because we are not going to play in Europe. Erik Ten Hag is taking a 25% pay cut. Certain players in their contracts will take pay cuts. So already you see that there is a whole shake-up at the club. And for Ajax to come out honestly, openly, and say that, you know what, if this guy is being, humiliated, the fans don't appreciate him. He was calling out recently for fans to appreciate him. Then came out and seemed to suggest that he needs quality players in the team, asking INEOS to give him quality players in the next summer transfer window. Always coming up out to defend himself that he can still do the job, that we are progressing, trying to convince fans that we are playing very exciting football. You know, maybe it's a language thing that at times he comes off as if he's blind to the reality, but maybe he's just trying also to give you an idea of what's in his head, but the language is limiting him. He's not English. So there's a lot of issues around Erik Ten Hag that make you feel for him. Yet we all know that the biggest problem at Manchester United is not him. Let's not let's be honest, guys. Whether he's sacked or not, whether he makes the wrong substitutions or not, where at times he gets his tactics wrong or not, honestly, he's not the biggest problem at Manchester United. He might have issues like any manager, like Jose Mourinho did, like Sir Alex Ferguson did. Sir Alex Ferguson was not the most tactical manager of all we've seen. He was not so tactical as a manager. He was just a character. He had a presence. He was a leader. And somehow, but also back then, the game was different. The game was not extremely tactical and technical. The game back then was about motivation and psyche and having the best players. And United, it was mostly a 2 or 3 horse race back then with Alex Ferguson. So, and he had the full control as the boss, as the man in charge. He had the control, he had the money, he was running the institution. Things have changed today in football. And whereas Sir Alex Ferguson was a great, he was given time to achieve the things he achieved. He was given the time. Now, and that does not take away the fact that Erik Ten Hag has got areas he has got to improve on. So for me, I'll sit here and say, and I might be the same person who keeps calling him out for the issues he has, but I am not really out and out for him being sacked. Again, I keep saying, unless United is getting Zinedine Zidane, because if Zinedine Zidane is unemployed and United is in the situation they are in, he would be the guy who would immediately come in and fit in now and overturn and turn the tide for United. But if it's not Zinedine Zidane, give the man time. Give the man time, because the reality is we know for a fact that we've had big managers, big so-called big name managers. Louis van Gaal, David Moyes was chosen by Sir Alex Ferguson himself. We had Louis van Gaal, we had Jose Mourinho. Name them. We've had all these guys, but they have failed. Why? Because of the reasons we are seeing later. Eventually, we are seeing the reasons. They wrote around the structure, the management. So put it right and give this guy who came in the first season and gave us hope. Honestly, in the first season, we played like United. We are dominating. We are, bullying teams. We are almost beating Man City. We were there. You saw that we are building something. It just capitulated in the second season for so many reasons, including the so many injuries. Honestly, has he signed? Had he made wrong signings? Yes, like any manager. Sir Alex Ferguson made wrong signings. He signed the likes. He signed so many Jemba. He tried to find a replacement for Roy Keane for so long, but he struggled. Sir Alex Ferguson too got some wrong. All managers, Pep Guardiola made wrong signings, wrong decisions. All managers, they are human as well, however genius they might be. So Erik Ten Hag, there is the same manager who signed these flops in Mount and Anthony, but he's also the same manager who signed Rasmus Højlund, who we know if you supply him the balls consistently, he will score goals for fun. He's the same manager who signed Lisandro Martinez, who is exciting every one of us. He's the same manager who signed Casemiro, who gave us a beautiful first year. He's the same manager who signed, who has given the chance to these youngsters, the Garnachos, to the Kobe Mainos. So there are so many positives about him that we cannot really define him because he signed Anthony for 86 million quid. Well, Anthony performed when he was at Ajax. He was performing well. And I remember when United signed him, so many United supporters I know were excited, thinking we had got a player who's going to bring something exciting. It just hasn't worked. It happens at Arsenal. Who signed? Was it Unai Emery who signed Nicolas Pepe for a record fee at the club then because it was exciting, but it didn't work. So we cannot really judge Erik Ten Hag on that. We may judge him for the games we see where he has pulled off Kobe or Rasmus Højlund at the wrong time, where he has failed to change the shape of this team to improve, where he has made the wrong decisions. Yes, that has have eventually maybe at times cost the game, where he has failed to manage a game, but also we can say that he's the same guy who gave us a third place finish and won us the Carabao Cup, took us to the FA Cup final in his first season in charge. So there are positives. Don't you think manager would deserve a little bit of time under a new organized structure with better players? If it doesn't work, well and good. We'll say, you know what, we did everything we would, try to get the best out of you. It didn't work. So for me, honestly, when I see these reports linking Erik Ten Hag to Ajax, I low-key say, I think we are rushing it. How many managers are we going to sack? We are rushing it. Unless, again, I will say this, unless we are getting Zinedine Zidane. And not so many people are for Zinedine Zidane because people don't quite rate his achievements at Real Madrid, the back-to-back titles, Champions League titles, and everything that he won. People don't quite rate them. But honestly, you don't win those. Real Madrid is a harder club to manage probably than Manchester United. It's probably a harder club to manage than Manchester United. But two, the fact is, Zinedine Zidane has got a character, a personality. For me, it's not even about his tactics. It's his presence, his character, his personality in the in the situation United is in right now. If such a personality join Manchester United, it will bring everyone along so fast that whatever we are doing then would instantly make sense. But it's all up to INEOS to decide. So that's where we are now. Let's follow what's happening. I'm called Web. Subscribe, guys. I'll catch you later.